Hello, thank you for joining me today as we reflect on some teaching from this last weekend. We wrapped up our series, The God of Go, by taking a look at living in the go. You know, God is always on the move, and we want to be a part of what He's doing. And God is always in the business of go. He is always in the business of moving us by giving us a call to go. His last words before He left the earth, Jesus said to His disciples, "Go and make disciples of all the nations. Go and teach people about me. Go and show people who I am. Point people to me." And that's what we want to be doing, is pointing people to Jesus. And so when God says go, you got to remember, just by way of recap here, you got to remember that He has equipped us. We are ready to go. There's no special training that we need, though the longer we walk with Jesus, the more we're going to learn and all of those things. But teaching people about Jesus, pointing people to Jesus, that is not for trained professionals. That's for every follower of Jesus. We got to have ears that are willing to hear when God says to you, go. When God says to me, go. The question is, am I willing? And so we come to the answer. What are we going to answer God when we hear Him say, go? And so this last weekend we talked about the story of Jesus and Peter as they walked on the water on the Sea of Galilee. And there's just some extraordinary principles for living that are there, and I encourage you to take a look at that entire message. But let me just give you a couple of things here as we're near the beginning of the week, but kind of getting into the middle of the week, that can help you even further on this journey of living in the go. Living in the go. First of all, there's a question that you have to ask, and here's the question. You need to ask, Lord, is that you? That's what Peter said. Lord, if it's you, tell me to come. And I just want to encourage you to not be afraid to ask, Lord, is that you? And then secondly, when God says yes, that go becomes a come. Join me in what I'm doing. And Peter stepped out of that boat. You've got to take a step of faith. Ask God, is that you? Take a step of faith. You see, faith is activated when we take a step toward God. God can call me to come to Him. He can call me to go. But I have to step out. I have to, as Peter did, step out of the boat for that faith to get activated. And then that's when beautiful things begin to happen, because without faith, it's impossible to please God. Lord, is it you? Step out of that boat. Step towards God. Do what you've got to do to move in God's direction as you live in the go. Because the Great Commission has not changed. Things are changing all around us. Gas prices are on the rise. Politics are a mess. The world is in complete disarray, but one thing hasn't changed, and that is our God. He is sovereign over the affairs of men. And we need to make sure that we are not looking horizontally, but that we are looking vertically in these times. And I want to encourage you, friend, live with the go in mind. Live in the go, because God is the God of go.